The last Epoch devs have disabled the Refer a Friend program. They claim it's because it was causing so much junk and spam in chat, and it was, but I don't think that's the whole story. The situation as it stands could also be costing them thousands of dollars. Here's how. So, for those of you who don't know, this is how the referral program works. Essentially, when you enter the game, every account can put down the person who referred them to the game. There's a text box right here. All other players have to do is take your referral code, put it into that text box, hit enter, and then if other players do that with your code 3 times, you'll unlock progressive tiers of this bee pet cosmetic. Here, I'll give you guys a quick view. This is it. You can kind of see my bees buzzing around here. They're cool, it's fun, people have been trying to get it. So what happened was, as this rolled out, chats in Discord and in the in-game like global chat just became inundated with people asking others to use their referral codes so they could unlock all 3 tiers of this bee pet. And I get it, it's a cool pet, but you know, it was kind of obnoxious, so that was a lot of that initial outcry. But as you can see here, 11th Hour Games just put out an update that says they've heard our concerns with the current Refer a Friend system, they'll be temporarily disabling it, they're not fans of letting a small issue ruin the fun of others, and they'll be granting everyone who owns a copy of the game all 3 versions of the bee pets. Cool, so that's a fine resolution. I don't think there's any issue. I think everyone will be satisfied with this. I think there's a slightly scarier reason that they were also doing this. It wasn't just because people were getting annoyed at the spam in chat. And that issue is Steam's refund policy. So, Steam will let you refund a game if you've played it for less than 2 hours and it's within 14 days of the original purchase. No big deal usually, right? You can kind of play a game for a bit, try it, refund it if it's not great. And in most cases this is fine, but some of you may be seeing where this is going. Me and some community members tested this, and what you were able to do while the Refer a Friend program was active is go on an alternate Steam account, buy a version of this game, use your own referral code in that version of the game you just purchased to notch up your rank of bees by 1, then exit the game, refund it, flip back over to your main account, rinse and repeat 3 times, you've got all 3 tiers of the bee pet. So some of you are saying, probably thinking, yeah, Silent, so what? Why do we care if people are buying and refunding the game? 11th Hour, the devs end up with the same amount at the end of the day anyway, right? Normally that would be the case because Valve just pays out based on sales and refunds are subtracted from that. There's no real fees on the Valve side if the refund's been processed as far as I know. But the engine driving last Epoch is Unity. And some of you may remember that Unity has been in the news recently because they made a bunch of changes to how their pricing works, including a runtime fee that potentially charges developers per installation of their game. We are getting a little bit into speculation here because depending on what version of Unity the game is running and the current plan, the current tier that 11th Hour is on, these fees may not exist per install for them, but it's possible that they have these kinds of fees. So we can look into the runtime fee estimator to figure out approximately how much they could be getting charged here just in runtime fees for their game. Assuming the game exceeds $1 million in revenue, has over 1 million initial engagements to date, and the game is created with the 2023 long-term support release or later, these fees will apply. So we'll need the number of monthly initial engagements and the estimated monthly revenue, but if we look at the Steam charts, we can kind of glean about where we're probably sitting. So the all-time peak is only 175,000 players, so it's possible we still haven't even crossed that threshold. Assuming that only a portion of the player base is playing at any given time, it's possible that the player counts could be brushing up against that. So let's say just for argument's sake that they have 175,000 as their all-time high. Let's say their total sales would normally be at 500,000 sales or something in that ballpark. That might be a little generous. It might be conservative. I'm not sure. Again, back of the napkin math. We can then work into the estimated monthly revenue. Then let's see. All we need is 35 times 500,000 players. That is 17 million in revenue this month. That's 17 million in revenue this month. Okay, check. Our estimated monthly initial engagements, again, we're estimating this to be 500,000 players. So this will yield an estimated runtime fee of $28,250 at $5 million in revenue. And again, we think we could be around triple that for this month, so that could be as high as $75,000 in runtime fees. Now, we're saying, well, they need to hit 1 million initial engagements, right? Like, how are they going to get there from 500,000? Well, if people put together this strategy of buying and refunding the game multiple times, each of those is going to count as an engagement. So let's say, half the player base creates 3 accounts because they're trying to do this. Well, we definitely breach that 1 million initial engagements number. And then we could also throw off this monthly initial engagements number to some, even higher number, up to 1 million, and that almost doubles the fees. So we're talking, $150,000 in fees. I'm not sure if this is actually the fear that was going on, but I put this together with one of the members of my community. We reached out to some of the devs at 11th Hour, and within 2 hours of that, we had this announcement saying that they were going to turn the program off. So I think that this may have contributed to the decision of them disabling this. Just some food for thought. I've got absolutely nothing against 11th Hour. In fact, I've been playing Last Epoch and loving it. If you'd like to come check out the game with me, I've been streaming it live. Subscribe. I'll have links to the community Discord and my Twitch in the description. Come hang out.